Johnny woke his dad in the middle of the night. He had tears in his eyes. Something wasn't right.
Sam, if you were now 10 and I had this book, what a night's reading we'd have.
My name's Samuel Leighton-Dore. I'm 23 from Sydney and I'm a writer-director. And I've just released my first children's book called I Think I'm a Poof. In the stories I write, including the book, I kind of wanted to make the gay character the protagonist, which I think is rarely done in an empowering way. The publishing company decided that it was a bit too risky for them as a family brand. And then last year I decided to self-publish it. It is the book I wrote through and through. My worst point in school, the words I was hurt by were poof and faggot and gaylord, which now seems a bit ridiculous, but having titled the book I Think I'm a Poof, it has had a relatively mixed response with some of the older gay community, and as such I have received some less than lovely messages. It's only a matter of time before a kid kills himself because of this book. What homophobic rubbish. Children are going to hear the words at school regardless, and I guess what I've tried to do with the book is take away a bit of the stigma attached to them.
Australia, of course, has got a long history of censorship around literature, and so we're coming from a pretty low base. But I just found it astounding that anyone would have any problems with it at all.
I'm back at International Grammar School, which is my old high school, for the yearly arts festival. Rita was like my crazy little drama teacher, mentor.
When I was growing up, and the word wog was a really controversial word, and it depended on how it was used. So my friends would use it with me, but in a sort of caring, loving way. I think if you can take ownership of that word, that's a really empowering thing.
Johnny's dad laughed, "Son, I love you. I don't care. But some people out there will be a nightmare."
Ain't that the truth? Kids are sexually aware much younger than we think. And I guess it's kind of my take on a fairy tale where you have the villains who are the bullies and the hero is the gay kid who comes through and just wins at life.
You know, I've got an 11-year-old who was saying, of course the marriage bill should be passed, of course they should be allowed to be married, what's wrong with it?
What I'd like is for this book to be a tool for parents to kind of start similar conversations with their kids that aren't confrontational. The goal is to make coming out nothing more than a conversation.
Someone coming out and saying, "This is who I am," it's a fantastic moment.
I mean, bullying's always going to be a problem at school, and it still is, and I think anything like this, which can kind of get to the heart of it, helps. It's okay to be a poofter.
And sometimes at night, before they go to bed, they'll think about school and all the mean things they said.
The end. This vision of Stephen Fry sitting in an armchair with a cat, and he opens up my book and you hear his British voice read out I Think I'm a Poof, and I think that's my dream.